Good morning, everyone. My name is David Eisen. I'm the editor-in-chief of Hotels Magazine, and I have the pleasure this morning of speaking with David Goldstone, the president of hospitality at Enseo, along with Brian Gurley, who is the CEO of Enseo. If you don't know, Enseo is a hospitality technology provider focused on hospitality TV solutions. They are coming to us live from the Hospitality Show in Denver, Colorado. So first off, I'd love to hear from you guys. What's the vibe like at the show going on in Denver right now?
Absolutely fantastic. This is the third year of the show, and I would say that probably the best of the three. Traffic has been amazing. The meetings that we have had lined up have all happened, and we're ready for day two. We're excited.
It's been a great show for us. We're very excited.
Fantastic. I hope you're getting a lot of traffic through the booth, which looks amazing, by the way. So kudos to you on that. So I wanted to jump into it. You guys recently put out a fabulous white paper called The Power of Connections that really focuses on the kind of in-room TV experience within the hotel. And it's something that I love speaking about because I love TV and hotels. So it's like the merging of both. It was kind of put out, right, to help hotel brands and owners minimize friction, enhance quality, and elevate kind of the guest satisfaction, along with controlling costs and showing that ROI that hotel owners can achieve from it. So in reading this white paper, I kind of look at the in-room TV experience through kind of three separate buckets. There's the customer experience, the customer-facing experience, that is. There's the technology that goes into that and how it drives it all. And then there's the cost versus the ROI to the hotel owner. So it'd be great to kind of walk through the white paper in that regard, maybe through those three buckets. I know you guys have other great things to add about it too, but maybe start there, the customer experience.
So the customer experience is critical. For the hotelier, it is the number one issue. They need to make sure that their customers are 100% satisfied, because they will then be loyal and they'll come back. And there cannot be any issues that result from technology. But when there are issues, it's also how those issues are handled. And that is something that Enseo prides itself on. And one of the most exciting things to us is the way we handle an issue when it arises, particularly in that our concentration is in the upscale, upper upscale, and luxury segment of the market, which is even more important, where customers are paying a lot of money for their rooms, that they have a better than home experience in the hotels that they're in.
And what David just said, that better than home experience is important. Customers want personalization, and they want what they have at home to be able to carry it with them, whether that's apps from Netflix to casting, but they want that experience to be at least as good, if not better. So we're helping the hotels and properties provide that experience to the guests to improve satisfaction.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, at the upper upscale and luxury level, these are like the most discerning guests that are out there. So especially when they're in their rooms, they're interacting with the technology. They want it to be flawless. They want it to be seamless. They want it to be quick. And you guys are there kind of be able to provide that for them through things you were saying before, where streaming, where apps are available to them, and also casting off their phone, because all the devices they're bringing, they're going to watch their own content. I mean, that's really what it's about, right?
Correct. And
Exactly.
David, we've taken customer service to a new level. When a customer calls Enseo, if for a problem or if there's an issue, it's reactive. They are calling for one reason. They're calling for help. What we've done is we've started a very, very strongly based customer support group who will be proactive. So not reactive, but proactive, checking in with our key customers. Is everything okay? If there was a problem, how was it resolved? Are you satisfied with everything? And we do that on an ongoing basis to not just our upper upscale and luxury customers, but across the board. We are proactively monitoring how they are doing. We are doing quarterly business reviews with them, checking that they are happy, checking that everything is working as it should be working.
So what we're looking to do when properties are looking for in ownership groups are no longer vendors. They want partners to work with. So we've built a lot in for the guest experience as well as the support side of things. We have various products built into ours that allow properties to monetize and to enhance group sales, which then reduces the overall cost of the system.
Yep. Well, it's all about revenue. I was going to say it's all about revenue, right? And how you can
Well, it's not all
generate
about
revenue.
revenue. It's also about reducing the burden to support. So
Yeah.
because our site product allows our customer service team and our engineering team to monitor the property, determine what equipment may be offline or having issues, and fix it remotely. And so we can support the local engineering teams and reduce costs as well as increase revenue opportunities.
I'll rephrase it. It's profitability is really what it comes
It's a
down
return
to.
on it's the ROI. How do they improve the ROI of their investment? It used to be the TV was entertainment.
Yeah.
We're putting a TV in a room, and now we're realizing it is a large window which they can put up advertising. They can do group sales. They can message their guests. So there's a lot they can do with it. That's not just linear TV.
Yeah.
And the product Brian's talking about, which is a differentiator for us, is called Sight. Why? Because it gives us and the hotel sight into the system. So the chief engineer at a property can view every single room, the state of the TV, the state of the set-top box, the state of all the channels, which is a tremendous advantage over anyone else out there.
Yeah.
It is clearly a differentiator.
Let me ask you this. You put out this white paper that I look at it as really kind of almost a playbook that an owner, a brand, an operator can kind of look at when you're dealing with this type of technology and where it's going. Why did you think it was so important to come out with a white paper like this now? And really, what are you trying to impart to the hotel owner, the brand, and the operator with it?
Really, what we tried, the message is this. Since COVID stalled everything, PIPs were put on hold, new builds were put on hold, and those have now really come full circle. Brands are pushing for the PIPs. Hotels need to be upgraded. New builds are coming out of the ground fast and furious, particularly in the luxury segment of the market, which is the fastest growing segment in the business. Yeah. What we wanted to ensure was that hotels know what options they've got when selecting a technology partner. To Brian's point of view, it's a partnership. We do not view ourselves as vendors. We are partners. And what is absolutely critical is that hotels understand what they are getting into in a partnership. This is a long-term relationship. It's 5 years and plus. Our goal is to make sure that they understand, A, what they need, and B, what our system can do for them. To Brian's point, with the wedding channel, we can give hoteliers the opportunity to send messages to a select number of rooms that are there just for the wedding. They can send a message from the bride and groom. They can send photographs to those rooms. They can also give the guests their own channel in the IPG, the Interactive Program Guide, which is the same thing we do for businesses they're going. Let's say Nike has a conference. Nike can have their own channel just for the Nike attendees. So really, long story short, it's to ensure that hotels are informed before they make a decision, and they will hopefully call us, amongst others, to determine what works best for them. And in our biased opinion, Enseo is the best option.
And I would just say I love that personalization, right? That you can literally make it bespoke for a certain guest staying at the hotel. And also, what about if there's an upsell right there that you could do with if it's a spa, if it's the restaurant, you could run that messaging too, kind of as an upsell technique, I imagine.
Very much so.
Correct. In addition to the group sales for channels, the messaging, if there's openings in the spa for the afternoon, they could push out discounts to fill those openings. There's a lot they can do with it. And again, as we've come out of COVID, it's not just enhancing the guest experience. Wages are up, costs are up, and how do we help the properties, brands, ownership groups maintain or improve their ROI, either through revenue enhancement opportunities in our product that also enhance the guest experience, and then through better support and lower service costs in helping with their teams.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question, because I 100% love the terminology you used of being a partnering with hotels, not just being a vendor or supplier to work with. It's really about that partnership. Now, on the other side, though, your technology, you do have to kind of partner or with other vendors, right? Whether it's the television that runs through everything. Maybe talk a little bit about that relationship, kind of with the hardware side.
Nice. I wish I could.
Well, from a partnering with vendors, it's critical. There's a whole ecosystem that we are part of. So there's the television partnering, there's a set-top box partnering. Set-top boxes are eventually going to be gone because these are now being built in to smart TVs. So it's not only partnering with vendors, it's understanding the technology that's coming. And again, where does Enseo excel? We excel with an unbelievably strong and smart engineering and product team. Our chief product officer is up to speed on what's happening at Google, what's happening at Apple, and how is that going to enhance what we are doing to provide to the hotels. And we have to know that because we are being looked at to educate our properties. So our chief product officer has to know what is happening at the various companies we are partnering with. So you're right. There's a whole ecosystem. It's not just partnering with our hotels, it's partnering with the ecosystem, be it a phone system company, be it a television company, be it a Google or an Apple or a Dish or Direct TV.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's also to give the buyer of our products optionality. So we can run on a setback box.
Right.
We can run on smart TVs. So depending on how the properties want to deploy, we can deploy to meet their needs to satisfy their guests. And the other side that we haven't talked about is on the Wi-Fi side, which is becoming ever more important, even for the TV experience. So we can bundle that together, reduce the number of vendors, and become their technology partner. And then that allows us to also then reduce service costs and support when we're working through the Wi-Fi in the property as well as the TV in the property.
Yeah.
And David, on the support side, something that's very, very important to us, to the industry, and we are unique in this regard. Every single one of our support people, whether it's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, or advanced support, are all Enseo employees. A lot of companies farm out their tier 1 and sometimes even tier 2 support. Ours are all Enseo trained and Enseo employees, which makes it much easier for us to ensure that they are trained and understand their importance. Because to me, one of the most important people in the organization are your service and support people. They have got to be responsive, and they've got to be fast, and they've got to know how and when to escalate.
Well, that goes to what you were saying before about building a culture within the company, which is
Absolutely.
vital.
Absolutely. And where other companies have, coming out of the pandemic, looked to reduce cost and offshore their customer support or reduce hours of when you can call support, we've done the opposite. So we view it as we have our industry leading support. We've grown our support staff significantly last year. We added another significant percentage to that staff this year, just for the number of people, 24/7 support and access to then US-based tier 2 and 3. And then if we need to, because of our engineering team, we can bring our engineering team to bear if there are other challenges that we have to help properties work through.
We talked a little bit about just now about working with other vendors, whether it's the set-top boxes of the world, the TV, that kind of thing, but also the technology just within a hotel. I mean, there's so many different systems that I'm sure that you have to kind of commingle with, the PMS, the loyalty program, all those different kind of technology, I guess, inputs. How does your kind of technology, kind of weave their way through all of that?
Well, that's one of the things that we excel at and that our engineering team allows us to do. We integrate with PMS systems. It is fairly regular that a new PMS system we run into, and we can integrate with that. On the loyalty side, that's really starting as the the ownership groups and the brands are focusing on their loyalty platforms, and we can integrate with that. And we're working right now on a project with our VOD product, where you can either purchase that through the folio, so through the hotel. You can purchase via credit card if you don't want it to go on your bill. And then now we're working through being able to purchase with loyalty points, so it can be an upsell, or the properties can do that for the customer or the guest in the room, is to add loyalty points or purchase those VOD products for them.
Nice. By the way, in reading the white paper, one of the great phrases that I came across was this idea called hedonic adaptation. I probably pronounced it wrong. Hedonic adaptation. Basically, it was like every time hoteliers raise the bar, guest expectations climb higher. So it's like the better you guys get, you're basically educating or telling the guests, well, I want more and more and more, which I guess is a two-sided kind of two-edged sword. That's great, but it always makes you kind of have to keep evolving as a company.
We absolutely do, and it keeps us on our toes, but it also is why it's so important, as I said earlier, having great engineering and product people on our teams, because Brian and I can only do so much from a partnership point of view. But if you don't have, at the end of the day, this is technology. Even though I like to say we are not a technology company, we are a service company that happens to do technology. And there's a huge difference between being a technology trying to service or a service company trying to do technology. We do both excellently, which is one of the reasons we're both here and proud to be at Enseo. But we have to ensure that our teams across all aspects of the company are best in class.
Yeah, right. And it allows the hotels to differentiate with the number of brands that are now available to a guest and a customer. It allows them to provide the best technology, the best guest room experience for that customer so they can differentiate, and especially in the high-end luxury market, provide the guests with what they expect at that level.
You're so right, Brian, because there are so many, many new brands keep coming into the system, and all of them promise this uniqueness, which is great, a distinction, but at the same time, the in-room kind of experience, it might be unique, but it's always got to have that great, relationship through the television, just like you have at home, whether it's, again, streaming, casting, the in-room experience has to be nailed, and it doesn't matter what brand it is.
And especially important in the higher end brands. You go to some of the large brands, which are a large part of our customer base, but you go down their tier from select service up to their luxury, and that's the same guest experience. The person staying luxury and that's going to go to an independent luxury property doesn't want the same thing that they will see on a TV in a select service property.
Yeah. Well, one last question I did want to ask you, talking about this, there's obviously that the kind of, things do go wrong, engineering, there's things need to be serviced. And also kind of, we haven't even touched upon it, is that kind of privacy and security, which I know is very important.
Huge. Things do go wrong in properties. Like I said, because of the way we've staffed our customer service and our internal engineering, and we have the ability to help and fix those very quickly. When you look at our statistics around our customer service, around 95% of issues get resolved in the first call. It's there are very limited number of actual site visits needed because because a lot of those we can resolve remotely, and so we can really help them and reduce that cost again.
David, what's also very important to us is owning the problem. If there is an issue and something's gone wrong, admit it. Don't point fingers. Get it fixed. We had an issue this morning where something went wrong at a property, and I fortunately it got elevated to me. I sent an immediate apology out to the property, to the GM, to the chief engineer, apologizing for what happened, letting them know it would be fixed immediately, and somebody is going to be out there to visit them personally to just ensure that they know how much we care.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah, that is important. We need more politicians like you who just know there's a problem and just solve it. That's what we need more of, David.
Right.
So I appreciate that candor.
Yeah, this interview was going great until then, but thanks.
And we're moving that timeline back. So, through our site tool, every day a property gets an email with the status and the health of their system. The engineer on site has the site tool they can on their phone, and they can check it to plan their day. Yeah. And then we are also moving towards AI in our customer support, so that because of the amount of data that we collect from the box, not personal data, touch on that in a second, the amount of data we collect, we can, with AI, start to determine when equipment's going to fail before it does, so that we can then proactively reach out and either get more equipment on site before it fails or have them replace it before it fails, so they aren't waiting for that to happen.
Well, I mean, listen, thank you guys for speaking with me. What I really want to know is how can, a hotel that's looking to, change up their in-room kind of TV solution, how do they get in touch with Enseo? If it's a hotel owner, a brand operator, what's the best way to get started?
Really through our website, is probably the fastest and easiest way, or, word of mouth as well. But I would say the website is the easiest.
The website.
Yeah.
Go on the website. There's a section where they can send an email to us with what they're looking for, whether it's free to guest content, whether it's the guest room entertainment platform, Wi-Fi, or safety product. Right. And then we will get in touch with them immediately.
And that'll be at enseo.com, I imagine.
Correct.
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 Very
Very
good.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Brian and David, I appreciate you speaking with me this morning, and enjoy the rest of the hospitality show in Denver.
David, thank you. And thank you for diving into the white paper. We appreciate it.